3 a.m. and wow, I just heard in my ear Marla talking about that storm surge. And you know, we've been really mixing up the shots for you. We've been on the beach, we've been on top of Pirates Cove on their roof patio deck, we've been on Main Street showing you the flooding there. We tried to go, and then we followed the tornado's path. We had a tornado touchdown on the corner of 18th Avenue North and Ocean Boulevard. We showed you what happened there on its path down 11th Avenue North over US 17, and then we tried to go to Cherry Grove Pier to get a shot for you there, but you know, the wind was so strong we couldn't even get our doors open to the car to get out. So we decided we'd check out Cherry Grove canals here for you. Now you can take a look at this water. I mean, it is completely flooded. The roads here between 46th and 47th Avenue North aren't flooded yet, but if you guys know anything about these canals, you know that they have issues of it being mud beds, mud flats, where people can't even get their boats out at low tide. That's why they're doing that multi-million-dollar dredging project right now here at the city of Myrtle Beach. So no problem with water now. I mean, look at this, you guys. It is completely up to the top here. I don't think I'm going to get any closer, but it is over the top as we've stood here, slowly coming up. It's at the top of these docks here at the house. So, you know, it could reach the street in a couple hours because the rain has started to pick up again. The wind here. So this is the latest here, North Myrtle Beach. Again, I mean, just look at that. For a place that you always see the oyster beds every day at the bottom, mud flats here, completely flooded up to the docks and in people's backyards as well. So that's what's going on now in North Myrtle Beach. I think we're gonna head back to Pirates Cove, dry off a little bit, recharge our batteries, and then hopefully we'll be back on the air soon. For now, reporting live from Cherry Grove. There's that wind, you guys. Meredith Helline, back to you. Such a tragedy here in North Myrtle Beach. Now, there was one couple in one of the condo buildings. A supervisor with North Myrtle Beach Public Safety was able to safely get them to their safety. No lives lost here, just complete fire devastation, Eric.
And Meredith, let's talk about the fact that getting to the fire for these firefighters, that was another battle as well. Because of the hurricane, they weren't actually able to come in, but the National Guard was able to help.
Yes, and you know, that's something we've been telling our viewers all week, is that when those hurricane force winds reached a certain miles per hour, that the first responders weren't going to be able to get to you if you didn't evacuate, and that's what happened here.
Helline joins me now. She's been covering this story and picks up the story from here. Meredith?
Good morning. Yes, I've been in North Myrtle Beach. We started our coverage yesterday around 3 o'clock yesterday morning, and then left in the afternoon to be replaced with another team of WMF reporters that have been here all night. And you know, if you guys take a look at this, this is a very sobering scene of the destruction of Hurricane Matthew. Now, I want you all to take a look at this video that WMBF News reporter Josh Robertson shot last night. Now, when I got to the scene, I spoke with the Battalion Chief Todd Davis with North Myrtle Beach Fire here, and he says 6 trucks and 3 ladder trucks were able to respond around 9 o'clock last night, maybe a little bit earlier. And what had happened, he wants this to be clear, because of the hurricane force winds, no teams were able to respond immediately to this fire. We can hear from the mayor and also an employee with the realty company that owns these homes. We also spoke with him, and he has a few things to say. You know, things like this, it's not even just Cherry Grove. We're all coming together in the PD and the Grand Strand, because it's not just the people in this area that have experienced devastation with Hurricane Matthew. I mean, even though it was reduced to a Category 1 or 2, this is huge.
And as the governor, we just heard say, this is when the frustration really begins. Into this blaze, because of Hurricane Matthew's winds, it really hindered the efforts for firefighters.
It really did, and that was something that we kept telling our viewers about. You know, when Hurricane Matthew was going to hit, first responders would not be able to help you once this hurricane reached a certain strength. I think a lot of the times it was around 60 miles per hour wind gusts that they were saying would be too much for first responders to respond.
Right, actually over 70 miles an hour winds. That's what they thought it was at the time when it brought the fire over from the other side of the street across 49th Avenue North. So it didn't go and jump from one building to the next building. They were actually able to do that after it caught 5
They were,
buildings.
And you know, Eric, let's go ahead and let's take a look at this video that we have for you guys. This was shot last night at this fire. I mean, absolutely incredible video of what happened here overnight. Now, I did speak with Battalion Chief Todd Davis with North Myrtle Beach Public Safety, and he says that a supervisor, because you know we said they couldn't come out when it was too dangerous, but they did send a supervisor out to check out the damage, see what he could evaluate over what they heard over the scanner, and he was able to get a couple to safety that was staying in the condo, the Marsh Villas, I believe. So difficult because of the winds. There was almost nothing they can do. So they're so thankful that nobody was in that building because the wind was spreading the fire. And like you said, that's what spread it across the street. The neighbor you just heard from actually left his home in the middle of the storm. He lives somewhere back here because he felt more safe driving around in his car because those hurricane force winds were so strong, and he heard the cracking from those trees. Now, we do still want to hear from you and your hurricane story. Good morning, Marla. I'm at Waccamaw Drive, right along 501 on the outskirts of downtown Conway, and this is a place where people who live back here are having to boat to and from their cars. Good morning, Eric. Now, if you take a look at this water behind me, you can tell that the people here in Conway are not done with the side effects of Hurricane Matthew yet. Now, this water was about 100 feet up the street more just yesterday. It's since receded. It even flooded this home that you're looking at now, but don't forget, even if these water levels are receding, they are expected to come back up. If you see these reflective signs right here, that's actually the bridge to cross Crabtree Creek. That's where this water came from. So you can see how far it has already come up. The new normal for people here at Waccamaw Drive is leaving their car parked as close as possible to the highway and taking their boats home. This flooding is from the Waccamaw River, which is usually starting hundreds of yards that way, and this is only expected to rise. Now, I do want you all to understand the severity of the quickness of these rivers rising. We've been out here for almost 2 hours now, and this wasn't flooded earlier, but it's flooded now, and you can take a look. I'm a few feet off the road and already about a foot into river water here, and it just keeps going yards and yards back, and this is quickly moving. So make sure you have alternate roads home, because the road that was clear when you left for work in the morning might not be clear when you come back. Reporting live from Conway, I'm Meredith Helline, WMBF News. I spent a morning with Horry County Fire Rescue, and they taught me how to safely get rid of a tree. First of all, you start with the branches at the top, cut those down, cut the branches that are supporting the trunk, and then work your way down to the middle. And as you get closer to the middle on trees that are uprooted, this is where it becomes tricky. Doing yard cleanup like this is extremely hazardous work. This is actually where he cut. This is where we were. And when he cut this side of the tree went up. You can see the roots didn't go all the way down, but this is what he's talking about, is sometimes they'll just catapult straight up, and that's the dangerous part. Something that just happened within the past 20 minutes. I was standing here getting ready to go on camera, and my leg went completely through here all the way up to here and still didn't touch the bottom. So be careful around these trees because they're extremely dangerous. And again, Horry County Fire Rescue is urging you, if you have a tree of this size that you need to get rid of, to please hire a professional tree service so nothing happens to you or your family. Part of the island is in Pawleys Island Chapel here on the marsh. On the outside it looks untouched, but it's just survived its third major hurricane here on Pawleys Island. But around the chapel and all down the island are homes and streets with a long way to go. A home fire, flooding, no power, and a storm surge that left a lot of high water marks behind. I spoke with parents who have children in Horry County schools, and they say around this time last year, they saw an increase in stomach bug cases. They think it had something to do with how dirty this water was after the floods, and doctors say it's possible. Another sign that you should stay out is water rescue teams are only going knee deep in the water for as long as they have to. Also, the river keepers are handing out stickers like this to show you what to do if something as hazardous as hospital waste should show up in your yard. Reporting from Socastee, I'm Meredith Helline, WMBF News.